So one thing I try to focus on before I start trying to pass around the outside is still to block one side of the hip, right? Now, I will always prefer to get to like HQ and get close, but in the event that I can't, that's when I choose to go around the outside, right? So just so you guys understand, I prefer to get to the headquarters, get heavy and get tight, but if I can't, then we have to go around the outside. So let's say I'm in that situation. He's doing a really good job of keeping the open guard here, and we'll keep it simple, keeps the 2 feet on my hips here, and it's just keeping me away, okay? Now, what I want to do here is look to get one hand inside, which is pretty easy to do. When I get my hand inside, the goal here is to keep the hand by the hip. A lot of you guys know, again, I've been coming back here for a couple of years now. You guys know a lot of my language and style, Lamborghini door, that kind of stuff, where we control the hips here. So I'm still a big believer in that. Controlling the hips when it comes to passing the guard. So when I get my hand inside, it's with the goal of keeping my hand on the hip here. Obviously, if I reach up too high, if I try to grab his collar or try to underhook up by the armpit here, I'm going to extend the arm out too far from my body, and then we're going to get caught, arm bars, triangles, pilates, whatever, lasso, spider, whatever it may be. So my hand is always going to go to the hip and stay at the hip here. Now, when I get my hand to the hip here, the goal here is to get his right hip heavy, closer towards the mat. So I use my forearm here to drive my weight down. You guys see how I dip him down towards the right hand side now? You want to see that? So all I'm doing here is grabbing the hip. Could you anchor onto the belt or the skirt of the gi or the gi pants? You could, but typically I don't. Typically I just put my hand to the hip and just drop the hammer is what I call it, and I put my forearm inside. Now when I get to this position here, guys, this is where I begin outside passing now. From here, my right hand is going to grab Lego man grip at the shin towards the ankle, so I can push his heel towards the back of his thigh. Now the first thing we're going to do here is go around the outside. I'm going to shuffle. Now when I shuffle here, guys, the goal is to get to the outside of his left leg here. So I shuffle and I get to this point here. Now once I get here, guys, the first obvious one here is to look to push the knee through. Once you get to the outside, hand's going to leave the shin. We're going to palm his knee, push it through. As I push it through, I drop it with my right shoulder, my right knee. I get nice and heavy, and I'm going to windmill my arm out underneath here and grab the back of his collar, and then drop down to my 2 knees here. Again, staying focused on the lower half of the body here to begin with, okay? Now, obviously, things are going to open up, like back exposure and stuff like that, which we'll be ready for, but right now we're focused on just holding the guard pass. It's right from here, this is going to be the first one. Just pass it to the side. Again, this is more of a concept just to get you guys warmed up, okay? So that's if it goes that way. Now, let's take a look at a different scenario here. Hand to the hip here, same thing, hand on the shin, and I go to the outside passing here. Now, what's gonna happen a lot of the times here, he's gonna try to pummel his outside leg in. So say he starts bringing his right foot to my shoulder, right? Pretty common, you see this a lot. From here, I want you guys to make it a habit to stay focused up here, right? Too many times when I see people trying to jump from here to grabbing the head here. If he has a really good guard, it's gonna be hard to do that. So from here, again, my goal is to stay focused on the lower half of the body. So in the situation where he starts bringing the outside leg in, I want you guys to get in the habit of switching your hands around. So now my left hand's gonna let go of the hip here, and I'm gonna grab his thigh with my left hand. 1, 2. Now once I grab his thigh here, guys, you guys can see how I cup it, and I keep it over the top of my left thigh and knee here. Now the goal is to still clear the leg out the way. As I clear the leg out the way, my right hand's gonna shoot over to the far side hip, and I drop down to the cross side. That's gonna be the 2, number 2 here. So we're gonna drill right now. Again, these are more concepts just to get you guys warmed up, moving around, drilling, and we'll get to some actual technique afterwards. So that's the second option, okay? Third option here. Let's say I do the same thing here. Again, I'm in the open guard here. I get my hand heavy here. And now when I get my hand heavy here, some of you guys might think, well, what about if he shoots the lasso in? Great point, right? But when I put my hand in position here, my forearm's gonna follow, and I dip the hip down to the outside here. So if he goes for the lasso, it's gonna be difficult for him to put a good lasso in. So again, 1, 2, to the outside here. Now let's say he's flexible enough to throw his right foot all the way over to the far side shoulder here, like this, okay? That's gonna happen sometimes too. Now right away, I switch the hands. Grab the thigh, switch to the far side. This is where we go over under here. Right, that's my over under here. Again, we're staying focused on the lower half here. So right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna drill just to warm up, get, you know, the jiu-jitsu juices flowing right now. I'm gonna give you guys each about a minute top to bottom here. Person on bottom, you're gonna throw your leg over to the far side, to the near side, or not throw it over at all, and let your partner on top just kind of move around with these movements right now. So we have 3 different options, right? I want you guys to practice all 3. So again, one more time through each one. I'm here, we're gonna make contact. 1, 2. Now, when I do this here, you can see I kind of take a side step to the outside first, just to get that hip further down. I'm a big fan of making the person look away from the side I'm actually passing to. So I'm not going to stay in a straight line here and then go around the outside, right? It won't work that well. So whenever I make that point of contact, I'm dropping that forearm heavy here. 1, 2, to the outside I go. Now from here, if he doesn't react or if he can't react, maybe we got really heavy with the left arm, he can't throw the leg through, we palm the knee, push it through, drop down with that shoulder and knee, windmill the arm through, and I lock down. I hold my guard position, my guard pass position here. That's the first one. Second one, same thing. 1, 2, he goes near side here. Whenever he goes near side, right away, get in the habit of switching the hands. 1, 2, dropping here. Now we get nice and heavy. That's the second one. Third one, he gets the foot to the far side shoulder. So again, 1, 2, yes. Switch, switch, over under. Now we got our guard pass again. So right now, we're gonna have the partner on top going through all 3 motions right now. 1, 2, 3 in that order, and repeat through that minute round. Again, just warming up, getting some movement in, getting a good little sweat going. How's that sound, guys? Good? Are there any questions on those movements right now? All right, on 3, 1, 2. Good partner, guys, let's go. Just to keep in mind is creating the angle, right? Making the partner look away from the side you're passing to. Some of you guys are dropping in and letting the partner drop the hip to the same side you're passing to. So for example, I looked over a few times, some of you guys are doing this here. All right, this is gonna be a lot tougher to deal with someone who's got a really good guard. So I'm always gonna make a strong effort to make him look the opposite way of where I'm going. Very similar to how we did with our HQ knee cut entries that we've done over the years since I've been visiting you guys, right? Same idea, just from the outside now. So whenever I'm passing here, guys, could you sit here and grab the legs and do throw-bys and stuff like that? Yes, you could. But I also think that requires a lot more energy and stuff like that. And once you get over the age of 30, it gets a little bit more difficult, right? So you got to make sure we get some weight on top of the partner. So whenever I get to this position here, I'm going to get heavy through my forearm here. Now right away, I take a little side step out. 1. That's all I need here. So now when I circle around the outside here, I create that angle here, all right? Now he's looking this way for a split second while I'm trying to pass to this side. Now, whatever he throws at me, his defense, I'm gonna be ready for it because I'm a step ahead. Does that make sense there, guys? Where if I drop in and let him drop in with me here, when he throws that leg over the top here, he's ready for me now. Right now, it's gonna be a real tough time to get through this position here. So make a habit of always getting your partner to the opposite side of where you're passing to. So one more time through each movement right now. And again, these are just ideas here. Sometimes the foot may get stuck in the gi, sometimes the foot may go past your shoulder or on the shoulder, but you make the most of it, right? You get creative in those positions here. These are just base ideas that you can kind of grow on and build off. So again, I'm here, 1, 2, circle to the outside. First one here. We did such a great job with being heavy on the outside hip. He can't throw the leg over. I palm the knee, drop it with my shoulder, and I stay heavy here on the hips. First one. Second one, same thing. 1, 2, I'm here. He brings the foot to the near side, here. When this happens here, I'm gonna switch the hands. 1 and 2. Now when I switch the hands here, guys, the whole idea too with keeping this leg under control, if you guys are noticing, I'm keeping the leg shelved. And when I do switch the hands here, I keep this leg from dropping all the way down to the mat, right? If I let him bring his left set of toes on the mat here, he's gonna be more dangerous. He can hip out, create more space, and play a better guard. So whenever I'm in a position like this here, I'm not gonna let him get his near side leg back. He's only finding me with one leg now. Does that make sense? So now when I shoot this hand through, I can't go under it, so I'll go around the top. Switch, and I do that cross side control. That's the second movement. Third one here, he throws it like to the far side. He's a little bit more flexible, right? Then we go to the other side. So when this happens here, I go 1, 2. I'm switching my hand right away. That's the first leg I'm concerned about, the near side one. Now I reach under, we pin, should slice over the top. Now we take our side control. So let's keep a heavy focus on creating the angle, keeping the partner a step behind us before we start any of these movements here. Make sense, guys? A couple more minutes here, then we're gonna move on. On 3. 1, 2. Thank you, sir. Making me look good out here today, man. That's what we're talking about. Let's take a look at a scenario that we may encounter, right? De La Riva position, okay? So let's say I'm in a position like this where he's playing a De La Riva hook here. And again, I prefer to get to the headquarters here, which is having one leg in, one leg out. But again, let's work off the scenario where I can't get there. He's doing a good job of keeping me in the open guard here, in the danger zone, which means being in between the two legs here. So now he's got a good De La Riva hook here, and now he maybe has his foot sticky, super glued to my hip here, where I can't stuff it in between my two legs here to step over, right? He's trying to off balance me here. He's just trying to keep me in the danger zone. So whenever I find myself in a situation like this here, guys, unless he has a grip here, it could be a collar grip, outside grip, pretty common here, right? It could be a sleeve grip, doesn't matter though. When I get here though, if he does have a collar grip here, I will try to break this grip at first. If he has a sleeve grip here, maybe a cross sleeve grip here, I'm just gonna try to anchor it on the outside of his hip here and play from there, if you find yourself in any of those situations. But what I think is more common, at least what I see more of, I think it's the collar grip here. So when he has my collar here, what I like to do here is try to break the grip as soon as possible. Now when I break the grip here, obviously I have to try to drop my hips down to keep my posture somewhat, because he's trying to break the posture. He wants to get me heavy over the top here. I have to put my hands on the mat, and now my lower half is lighter, and he can start working to off balance, get underneath me, or go out to the back. So again, we're gonna sink down here. Now, what I like to do here, on that same side here, I'm gonna go lobster grip here. I grab the bottom of his sleeve here, and now my hand that goes across is gonna break the grip here. Now when I break the grip here, guys, I try not to just extend back here to try to pull the grip off my lapel. Again, he can maybe wrestle up if I do that. When I break the grip here, I try to twist it over the top here. So I do a palm strike, but I catch the hand here, and as I palm strike with the palm of my hand on his thumb here, just like this here. So I palm strike it, and I twist to break the grip here. Now once I break the grip here, I can go back to addressing this situation here. Now of course, when I break the grip here, I'm gonna let it go back to the legs here, but just know, as soon as I break it, I pin it, and I go right back to the legs here, and I try to posture up somewhat and make it harder for him to grab the collar again. Will he grab the collar again eventually? He would, but that split second in time there gives us time to start breaking the De La Riva hook and dealing with this leg here. So again, I broke the grip here, right? I posture up. My two hands are gonna go to both of his legs here. Now the first thing I want to do here is address the De La Riva hook here. Now when I address the De La Riva hook here, I'm trying to pressure down on both of his legs here. Whenever the legs work together, it's harder to deal with the guard, right? Let's go this way here, try this way. So what I like to do here is put both of my fingers on both set of hands here over the outside here, like this, and I spread the legs apart. Like I'm trying to roll him down a hill. So I'm putting a lot of weight on his legs here, like frog legs here. Everybody see that? Instead of just pushing straight down here, you feel more comfortable here if I do this, right? Versus me doing this. Now it's harder for him to play the guard. Now I pressure in with the lead leg, being my right leg. As I pressure in, I snap back and I point my toes out, and now I drop back down here to pop the De La Riva hook out. Now, as soon as I pop my De La Riva hook out, I'm looking to make a grip on the base of his gi pants here. I'm gonna take a back step, one step, and I shelf here. Now we're in this position here. Once I get here, guys, I'm splitting the legs apart, and I wanna keep the legs apart the whole way through. Now, as soon as I get here, I'm gonna pivot and point my right knee towards his left hip. I pivot as I kick back little by little with my left foot here. Everybody see that? Like the hands of a clock. I'm going counterclockwise there. So now I get to this position here. Once I get here, guys, what I love to do is look to connect to the upper body now, right? So whenever I talk about passing the guard here, I always talk about dominating the lower half first and then building up to grabbing the chest and head. As soon as I get to this point here, my left hand is gonna go to the hip. One, and I grab the collar with my right hand, two. Now when I grab the collar here, guys, my left hand goes to the hip and my forearm goes inside just like so. Now I'm pulling, I'm pushing and pulling here. When I push and pull here, he doesn't like that, right? It's uncomfortable for him. And when I push and pull, I'm a big believer in pulling up on the shoulders when someone's playing guard against you, because now it makes it difficult for them to play the guard, right? Or if his shoulder's on the mat, he feels a little bit more comfortable. But when I pull that shoulder off the mat, just a little difference of that makes a big difference in his guard game. Do you feel a difference there? You don't gotta make me feel good. It makes it harder for the guard player. Now, as soon as I get to this spot, I'm dropping my chest down. We're going Lamborghini door. Now, once I get here, guys, I like to transfer eventually from the hand on the collar to the crossface here. 1, 2. Once I get to the crossface here, we're gonna post. I pull in like the windshield wiper here, and I'm gonna make him look away with my right shoulder pressure. And once I've done that here, I know I'm gonna pass his guard here. And I take my time here, I'm in no rush. And whenever you feel the time is right, then you pass here. And the way I like to pass here is just doing a back step here. I like to slide my right leg down, back step, check the near side hip here, and go to my side control. When I go to my side control, you can either keep your shoulder pressure nice and heavy and dip to the outside hip, or we go Lamborghini door again, and we drop near side hip on top of his hip here, and we stay heavy on top like this. Up to you guys. Right now, I want you guys to work from the De La Riva position. breaking the De La Riva little by little, and then working towards dominating the hips, keeping the hip away here, and then looking to connect to the upper body. So again, we're gonna start in De La Riva. He's got a good sticky De La Riva hook here. He's got a good grip here. He's got his foot on my hip here, where I cannot step over to the headquarters. So now, what I want you guys to do is sink your hips down and address the grip here. I go lobster grip here, where I pull the sleeve down. I palm strike to break the grip here. Once I break the grip, I posture back up, and I get heavy through my two hands here. Now, sometimes you will pop the De La Riva hook out like I just did there. But in the case that you don't, you pressure in and you snap back as I point my toes out. Now I settle back down. Once I get here, I make my grip, back step, shelf it, and now I turn the hands of a clock here, like the hands of a clock. I'm gonna drop my chest down. As I drop my chest down, I grab the hip and I keep my forearm nice and tight. Now I grab the collar and I push and pull, Lamborghini door. And once we get to this position here, you take your time, you work up towards your cross face here, hand down the spine, we pull, shoulder pressure, we pass whenever you feel the time is right. Either you stay heavy through your shoulder pressure, or you go hip to hip here, heavy sprawl position here to take your side control. So that's the first one we're gonna work here. Up the middle pass. I'm gonna show you guys another variation afterwards that I like a lot. But let's start off with this one here, guys. Are there any questions on how to deal with the De La Riva? Beautiful. Let's do it, guys, on 3. 1, 2. Controlling the far side hip here. So how are we doing on this pass here? By shelving the leg here. So make sure we shelf that leg. So again, De La Riva is very common, especially, it's very common. You're gonna see De La Riva eventually. Whenever you get caught here, guys, remember if the grip is there, break it like we just spoke about. But addressing the hook is what's most important, obviously, right? After you break that grip here, my hands, just remember, are gonna be a little bit lower on the legs here. See some of you guys pushing down the knees here. If you keep your hands on the knees here, one, it's easier for them to make a good sleeve grip on me and pull the hand off the knee there. And two, even if they don't grab your sleeve here, pushing at the knees here against someone who's got a good De La Riva hook won't pop the hook out. So always go at the shins here. I think that's what works best here. So when I put my two hands in place here, they're at the shins here and I start weighing down here. And sometimes just doing this by itself will strip the hook off its position. So again, I'm here, I pressure in, guys. When I pressure in, like a rubber band, I snap it back here, I let it go. I let it go and I point my toes out and I come right back in. As I come right back in though, I'm backstepping and shelving here. Now this leg here can be tricky, right? A good guard player won't let me clear the leg out just in one shot like this here. So the knee may get stuck on my hip somewhat, like a knee shield, right? So whenever I shelf this here, that turning counterclockwise movement there is so clutch. So as I turn, once I get here, I'll have a much better chance of clearing this leg out. Now again, this is a scenario that we may encounter, the knee being in front. But because of my angle now, I can transfer my right hand up to the collar now. When I grab the collar, I'm gonna pull up. Remember I spoke about pulling up on it? I'm gonna pull up, and I'm gonna pull his leg past me here. His leg is strong. If I stay here and try to clear the leg out by itself, just pulling it straight back, it won't work. But if I pull his shoulder off the mat, as I pull the leg past me here, it works very well. 1, 2. Now I clear that leg behind me. Everybody see that? Once I get here now, I'm in my favorite position here, guys. I'm up the middle here, as I call it. I'm in between the two legs here, but on my terms now. I have both of his legs working without one another. They're both separated here. Now I'm gonna drop my chest, Lamborghini door. Now I start working towards that cross face here. So now when you guys go to shelf the leg here, let's have the partner on bottom keep the knee in somewhat, right? Because that's a very likely scenario you're gonna encounter when doing a guard pass like this here. So I want you guys to really focus on, one, keeping the legs away, right? So right now I'm stapling his left leg with my right shin, and my left hand is controlling this leg here. But not just my left hand here, it's also my whole upper body too, right? So I'm pressuring in with my chest inside of his leg here, not letting the legs work together. Now when I add this grip here on the upper body here, to make it possible for us to clear the leg out much easier. Again, if I try to muscle the leg past me here, it's too hard here. But if I pull his shoulder off the mat here, just naturally, you see it's easier for me to pull the leg past me here. Everybody see that? So when I do that all in one motion, 1, 2, now I drop my chest, Lamborghini door, which you guys are very familiar with. Now I work towards the cross face. Now we're in a really good position here to start passing on top. And again, the whole time we're controlling the hips here, keeping the hips away from one another. So again, we're gonna start in De La Riva here. You can add the grip right there if you guys want to keep practicing that. But right now, really the goal is to get through the De Hiva guard position here. So start with the De Hiva hook again. 2 hands are nice and heavy here. I pressure in, 1, 2, we pop the hook out, grab the gi pants, step, and I look to stay, shelf the leg on top of my thigh and knee here, but he does a good job keeping the knee in. Don't try to pressure through just yet, create the angle. Once I create the angle here, I connect to the upper body. I pull, and I do kind of like a hula hoop motion at the same time. 1, 2, and I come back in. Lamborghini door, we're towards the cross face, with shoulder pressure, and now we're passing, either staying heavy through the shoulder pressure, or switching back, hip on hip here, Lamborghini door, staying heavy, and side control this way too. Up to you guys though, how you finish on side control. But right now, let's add that little scenario, that situation that may encounter. The person keeps the knee in, what do we do there? You keep going counterclockwise there, depending on what side you're going on. Work that movement, connect to the upper body, push and pull to clear that leg out the way now. Give that a shot here, guys, on 3. 1, 2. So now let's continue moving on with this specific guard pass, right? Dealing with the De Hiva here. So a couple things I want you guys to keep in mind and just remember. Whenever you deal with a De Hiva hook here, guys, it's always best to grab the shins. Just like that first drill we worked on, grabbing the shins here, Lego man grips here. I'm always gonna tell you guys to do so. Grabbing at the knees here is always gonna make it hard for us to clear the legs out the way. So again, we broke the grip, whatever it may have been, we broke it, we're here. Again, the goal is to get the De Hiva hook out first. So when I get the hook out, my hands are heavy on the 2 shins here, okay? If I'm at the knees here, it's not gonna work as well. He feels a lot more comfortable playing his De Hiva hook there. So hands at the shins here, I'm weighing down, now I'm gonna pressure in, and same idea, we pop the De Hiva hook out as I come up to my heel here and I point my toes out. Now from here, I had a really good question here. When I clear this De Hiva hook out, I want to make sure that his leg is below my knee here. Just like you would when you defend a leg lock here, you want to make sure your knee line's clear. Same idea here. If I allow his leg to be above my knee here or at the knee here, it can chop back down, maybe hurt my knee here. Or if he goes for like a Calaterra lock there, and you can put some serious pressure there. So whenever you pop this De Hiva hook out here, 1, 2, I always make sure I keep his leg below my knee here. Everybody see that? Now from here, we're gonna keep going in the same direction here. Now, as soon as I pop the De Hiva hook out here, we make our grip, I backstep and I start trying to shelf here. Now, sometimes when I get to this position here, he does a really good job of trying to keep his leg floating, his left leg floating. He's trying to get back to the De Hiva hook here. I'm trying to bring my knee down to the mat, but I feel like I can't now, right? Where in the last technique, I was able to get all the way to this position here. So everybody understand the difference, right? First position that we worked, that you guys were just drilling here, if I can get his leg all the way down to the mat and pin it down with my shin, we're good to go with the options we work from here. Whether I clear this right off the bat, or if you gotta go to the hula hoop option here, okay? Now this one here, let's say I get to this position here, he's doing a good job of not letting me staple down with my right leg here. Everybody see what I'm talking about here? In this case here, I'm gonna look to still control his outside hip here. And if I just use my hand here, I give him complete control back of his right leg, so I can't do that. So while I still have my right hand on the shin, left hand on the pant grip here, I'm gonna work my left knee inside. Now, if you do this here, you have to make sure you keep control of both legs here. Now they're gonna hit you with the mermaid sweep. So I keep my hand heavy here, and I bring my left knee inside, and I open up with my left knee. Everybody see that? When I open up with my left knee here, I get my left hand to the hip now. Now, once I get here, guys, I go right to the collar, and I start pulling up here. Now, typically, as soon as I grab the collar, he's gonna bring his right leg back over the top of my hip here. Go ahead. What you do with your right leg? Exactly. But as soon as I do this here, we're right back to the same spot on the other side now. Everybody see that? So now I forced him to give me the same position just on the other side. Now I drop my left knee down, Lamborghini door, cross face, pull him in. Same idea. We start pressuring again to pass the guard. But in the case that we can't staple the leg down, we go with our knee inside to control the outside hip here. Again, the idea today is to control the hips here. Really attack the guard pass by dominating the partner's hips. So again, we're gonna move back to the center here. So we're gonna go start in the same position we just worked, right? This guy's De Hiva hook here. We pop the grip here. I'm in this position here. I pressure in and I pop the hook out. I'm in this spot. I backstep, try to shelf here, but I can't get my knee all the way down to the mat. I don't feel comfortable doing so. So here, while keeping both of his legs under control, the left knee's gonna go inside here. And it's very easy to do so. Pivot, knee inside, and I put some pressure on the outside hip here with my left knee. Now I feel comfortable going in with my left hand. Once I do this here, guys, I want to grab the collar right away. Now, typically when I grab the collar, his foot's gonna slingshot over the top here. Go ahead, boom. And I'm okay with that. Why? We're right back to the same position we just worked, just on the other side here. Drop the knee down all the way down to the mat. Hug the hip here, chest to chest. I collect the head here, pull them in. Good shoulder pressure. Now we're passing with the same pass, just on the other side here. Back step, check the hip. Now we're off to side control there. Now we're using our knee to change the direction of the guard pass to go back to the other side. You guys want to give that a shot? You guys want to see that again? See it again? So again, start at the deli Riva hook here. Pop the grip here, pressure in, pop the hook out. Grab the gi pants. I go to shelf the leg here, but I can't drop my knee down to the mat. So I work my left knee inside. And once I work the left knee inside, I let go of the gi pants and I go straight to the hip here, with my left hand. Everybody see that? So both of his legs are being split apart right now. Now I grab. As soon as I grab here, that leg comes up, but that's okay with me, because now I cut the corner to the other side, drop down with the Lamborghini door, cross face, pull them in, good shoulder pressure, back step, and we're passing here. Love this one here, guys. We're gonna use the knee to control the hip now. Let's give it a shot. On three. 1, 2. Give you guys another idea on how to control the outside hip as we pass here. So now let's say I'm able to make the headquarters here. I'm sure all you guys are familiar with the headquarters here. Let's say I step in. 1, 2, HQ here, okay? Now when I get to the headquarters here, guys, there's always gonna be the guard player who's able to get this outside leg in, okay? So if I can, I'll control the hip, post, knee cut here. We love that stuff, right? But if you ever have someone who's really good at keeping this leg coming up here, bring your like a shallow lasso here type position here, like this here, it can be real tough to deal with, okay? So when we find ourselves in that position here, we're gonna go back to that same idea of trying to push the outside hip down as we pass the opposite way. So when I step into headquarters here, 1, 2, if I can feel the guard player bringing this outside leg in, I'm gonna keep the hand on the hip here, we grab the collar. Now when I get here, guys, I like to bring my knees down or bring my knees together here. 1, 2, just like this. And I start walking towards it almost like a leg weave here. Walk, walk, walk. Now as soon as I start walking here, what I want to do now is look to control the gi pants like we just did before, right? So my left hand's gonna let go and I make a grip on the gi pants just like this here. Now if I feel that I can go into the leg weave here, I will. But it's with the idea that someone's got really strong hips here and they keep opening up the hips here, back over this way, exactly. So when I get myself to this position here for that split second, I grab the gi pants here. Now from here, as he's fighting hard to open up his hips again, I walk back over. But when I walk back over here, look how I keep his right leg out from away from me. Everybody see that? Now once I get here, I keep his one knee in between my two knees here. Now I pivot where I face his outside hip, and I'm going to bring my left heel up and over to clear that leg here. And once I get here, guys, what I want you guys to do here is clear this leg out the way. Kind of see how it goes back to that same drill we did in the beginning here, right? I gotta control this leg here. Now, when I go to clear the leg out the way here, I'm gonna use my right knee. I don't wanna let go either grip here to do that, so I'm gonna use my lower half. So I bring my right foot right by the hip here, and I'm gonna use my knee to knock the leg out the way. As I knock the leg out the way here, I'm gonna pull up on his collar at the same time. 1, 2, and I switch and I come right back down to my knee on belly position here, which I love, right? And once we get here, we can kind of talk about how we like to finish the person from here and how to control his position as well. But this is a really good example of kind of how it ties everything together. Moving side to side, keeping the outside leg away. All those same ideas we spoke about all day so far. Another good way to do it from the HQ now. So again, one more time. We're able to make it to the headquarters here, right? One leg in, one leg out. I know a lot of you guys in this room, most of you guys are very familiar with this position here already. So if you find yourself here, you have all your other obvious ones that we like to do, which is the knee cut, pressure passing, leg weave, all that stuff, right? But if you go to headquarters and you feel the partner's got a really tricky guard, and they're keeping that outside leg coming up, you're gonna go to this option here, right? And again, what do I mean by that? When I go headquarters here, if he's doing a really good job of throwing this like up and over, like going shallow lasso here, to try to recover the guard and recover the position here, that's when we go to this option here. So again, we go headquarters, 1, 2. Now from here, what I want you guys to do is control the collar, control the hip here, and I'm gonna walk to my leg weave here. 1, 2. When I walk in here, it's just with the goal of keeping his leg still long enough to make a grip at the base of the gi pants, so like this. Once I make my grip here, keep fighting up towards your guard position, I pinch my two knees together here. And I walk out a little bit more. Now from here, I have to point my body towards the outside hip here. Now I'm gonna windshield wipe over the top, clearing this leg out the way. And now I use my right knee to clear this leg out the way. I knock it out the way as I pull up on the collar. Now I pivot, and I drop back into my knee on belly position here, which I love. I love this position here. So we'll talk about that next though. Let's do this one pass here now from headquarters. So again, we go HQ here, 1, 2, right? I make my grips here, I'm trying to push and pull here, but he has a really good guard here. So I walk towards my leg weave position here. Now, the other good details you guys are seeing here, when I drop into this leg weave position here to help me control this outside leg here, I slide my left foot down towards the back of his ankle. So now he can't move the leg as well. Or he can't jam his toes on the mat to try to push off the mat. So it's gonna slow him down somewhat. Gives me the opportunity to make a good, strong grip inside of his leg here. Now I build back up, walk, 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 and now I windshield wipe over the top, clear, and I drop into my knee on belly position here, guys. So I love this one here. Again, another good example of going from side to side until we pass the guard. Let's give it a shot. On 3, 1, 2. Now, you guys know I want a knee cut, right? If I start knee cutting here, and he keeps throwing that shallow lasso in, if I go for a knee cut here, I'm gonna get stuck like in the reverse De La Riva, shallow lasso position here, which just, it's not good for us on top right now, right? He's gonna start inverting, pushing away, creating space here. So if I go to headquarters here, 1, 2, if I don't feel his leg coming up, like if he's just keeping the leg here, like he can't bring the leg up, like I can't bring the leg up, I'm not flexible like that, my guard doesn't work that well, that way, right? Then I'm gonna be like all day, knee cut, get heavy, start doing my thing, right? But in the case that you feel the partner bring that leg up, like, you know what? Instead of dealing with that leg, I'm gonna get rid of that leg from the start before I start passing the guard. That's the whole idea behind this guard passing, that we're working on today, right? So when I'm here, headquarters here, and I'm making my grips here, throw that shallow lasso in, I'm here, I'm like, you know what? If I go this way right away, this is gonna become more of a pain in the ass. So I have to deal with this first. This is why I bring my knee inside and I walk it down. So when I walk it down, try to bring your shallow lasso in there, harder, much harder, right? Now it gives me the chance here to make this grip here. Now, if he lets me get here and stay here, I'll keep passing here, right? What do I mean by that? I'll work my knee inside, work towards my leg weave, that's awesome. But when I get here, typically it's a really good guard player like him, he's gonna start pushing off, and creating that space here. And that's why I need to control that leg here, right? You see I try to bring his foot inside, right? That's why it's really important for us to bring that grip inside of his leg here. Everybody following? Now from here, guys, so I try to work all of my guard passing, right? So when I walk around the outside here, look, I keep his leg away. Now if I can do the windshield wipe over the top here, 1, 2, clear, and go to my knee on belly, beautiful, great. Now, since we're here already, let's throw another scenario into the mix, right? Let's say I'm here and keep a really sticky hook with your left foot. And I start walking it to the outside. If I start trying to windshield wipe here and I can't here, I got my knee cut here too. How do I knee cut? Push and pull into that same hula hoop position that we worked earlier, right? So everything's tying together now. So work it to the side where they're playing that shallow lasso to get rid of the shallow lasso. Then we walk back to the center, to the opposite side, and start passing the guard again. When you start passing the guard here, try the windshield wiper. If the person has a really good sticky hook on bottom, just know your knee cut's there too. How do you knee cut? Push and pull, right? Pull up on that collar, pull the shoulder away from the mat, so it's easier for us to make sure this leg goes behind our hip and backside. So we don't have to deal with the knee shield, lasso, all that stuff there. Does that make sense there, guys? Let's give it another shot on 3. 1, 2. So, like the pass we just worked here, guys, whenever I get here and I get to the outside, if you can clear the hook here, 1, 2, and clear the leg out, go to your knee on belly, perfect. If you can't, you go knee cut. But point is, we're gonna get pass guard one way or the other, but when you do pass, I prefer to go straight to my knee on belly, right? So let's say we are able to clear the hook out. Let's say I get here, I have my grip here, I walk out, I go 1, 2, 3. We get to my knee on belly here. Now the knee on belly here, guys, I love it. It's a really good control point. It's an easy way for your competitor to kind of rack up the points on the scoreboard too. So let's turn this way here. So whenever I go to my knee on belly here, guys, I'm trying to aim my knee at the solar plex here, right? Versus just being straight knee on belly here. When I go straight knee on belly here, That's usually when our knees point straight across here, and it's easier for the partner to just push out your knee and get the knee off their stomach. So whenever I go knee on belly, just like everything else I do with guard passing or guard work, angles, angles, angles. So my left knee, the one that's on the knee on belly position here, is pointing up over his right shoulder right now. Everybody see that? Instead of just pointing straight across the other side of his body. So my left knee is going over his right shoulder at the chest, stomach area, and now my left foot is hooking his hip here. So my toes are underneath his hip here. So now in the case that he's able to bridge, hip escape, and feed my foot back in between the two legs here, I'm back into what? A deep knee cup position here, right? So again, if you are a competitor, easy way to rack up the points in the scoreboard if you compete. Just know you gotta wait 3 seconds here with the legs locked until you pass again. But anyways, we pass again, go straight to knee on belly. So let's say we go here, 1, 2, and we're here. Now when we get here, I wanna push and pull, okay? Just like I do with everything else, right? The guard passing and all that. I push and pull. When I push and pull here, is to get him to face that way. Now, he wants to face towards, get onto his left hip, get onto your left hip, to alleviate that pressure off the stomach here and get the knee off of his stomach here, right? But if I don't allow him to do that, it gets worse. So my left hand, the palm of the hand's on the outside hip, pushing down. My right hand's on the collar, pulling up, pushing and pulling just like this here. Now when I push and pull here, it makes it very difficult for the partner to escape here, right? And this is why I see a lot of people on bottom either give me the arm here, or they bail away and we take it back, okay? Now there are times here where some people on bottom try to turn into you, right? Now when they start turning into me here, my right hand's on the collar. This is something I've been doing a lot here lately, is catching a choke from this position here. When my right hand in the collar, my right thumb is right by the collarbone. Nowhere lower or anywhere higher, but right by the collarbone here. So when I get to this position here, start turning into me here, he starts turning in here like this, like you were turning on me a lot, right? So when we get to this spot here, what I like to do here is use my right fist as like a spinning back fist here, as a shoulder pressure or as a, what's the word, like a cross face, right? So when I turn, I use my fist here to make him look away and I close the elbow again, right? He does it again, go ahead, 1, 2, and I do it again. Go again, 1, 2, and we go again. And after 2 or 3, your partner on bottom's gonna get really annoyed, right? And they usually typically turn in harder each and every single time because they're getting kind of pissed off. They're like, you know what, screw this, I'm getting out of this position to try to wrestle up, whatever it may be. Now, on the second or third one, we're gonna time it. When I open up the fist here to make him look away, when he goes to turn back in, I close the elbow back in, but when I close the elbow back in, I'm gonna look to aim my right hand below his chin, okay? So again, I'm here, he's trying to turn in, 1, 2, go at 3, I'm here. Everyone see this here? My right hand is right below the chin now. Now, he's not too concerned about my hand placement just yet, because it's not really a position where you can get choked from, but we got her hand in the right spot. Now my next step here, guys, is take my right hand and when I was on the hip here and slide my right hand up behind his shoulder blade like this here, okay? I go from the hip up to the shoulder blade. Once I get here, guys, I take my knee off the belly, like I do a little kickback. As I do a little bit of kickback, I slap the shoulder down and I trap him with my chest. Everybody see that? Now once I do this here, guys, my left hand goes back to the outside hip here. I'm gonna anchor down whatever it may be. It can be the gi pants, the skirt, the belt, his underwear, whatever. I'm gonna grab something and anchor my hand down. And once I do this here, guys, I drop my shoulder behind his head here, and I keep pulling up, pulling up, pulling up until he taps here. Now, it could be one of those things where he may turn to turtle, take the back, or go into like a traditional clog choke. It can be one of those things where you jump over and take the back as well. But most of the time, like he just tapped right there, they get stuck in this awkward position like this here, where they don't want to turn all the way up or turn away, but they're also stuck because their shoulders underneath their chest now. So again, one more time. I love this one here. It's like a modified clock choke here from the knee on belly position, and it works really well. It's sneaky there, and people don't see it coming. So again, I passed the guard, we got to knee on belly here. We're being really heavy here and real annoying here, right? Because we got perfect leg positioning now. Always angled. So I'm pushing and pulling here, just like this here. He goes to turn in, go turn in. 1, 2, turn in again, 3, and I lock it up here. When I lock it up, I slap his shoulder down. I grab the outside hip, anchor down the hand here, and now I drop to my right hip here, guys. And now here, I'm just attacking that clock choke here. It's super tight. If he drops his hip here, we take the back. If not, I keep walking up into this position here until he taps there. Super strong choke there. Again, it's unexpected. It's like an element of surprise there, which takes the partner off, you know, by surprise. And it works well, works really well. So again, one more time. Sorry. So again, we passed. I'm on knee on belly here. I'm pushing and pulling here. He turns in. 1, 2, 3. Look, I catch the shoulder here. Everybody see that? I take a step back and I trap him here. Now, if you build up to both knees here, go ahead, build up to both knees here, no problem. Then I go clock choke here, right? Traditional clock choke. But the goal here is to get so heavy behind his shoulder where he's stuck, like in this position here. And typically the partner on bottom is gonna be a little concerned with coming up to all fours. So they opt to kind of stay here and try to figure it out. But when I trap his shoulder here, again, I'm gonna drop my shoulder like the gator roll that Tainan does, but I'm not gonna do the whole gator roll. I'm gonna stay here, and now I keep walking until he taps here. Love this one here. It's a fun one to hit. Get creative with it, have fun with it, right? But again, it's a surprise attack there. You guys wanna give it a shot? Let's do it. On 3, 1, 2. Behind today's technique was passing the guard, but also passing the guard while controlling the hips and keeping one hip away from us as we're passing around the outside. So any questions on any of the passes we worked on today? Okay, perfect. Any questions in general about any other technique?
Can you just address some of the sleeve grips we're going to get while you're in headquarters or while you're fighting the Hiva?
Yep.
That's where I feel like
the sleeve grips are same. Okay. So the sleeve grips, I'll be honest with you, are not as troubling to me as a collar grip, right? I feel the collar grip is more dangerous where they can really pull my hands to the mat and get me posting where it's easier for me to get my lower half lighter and all that stuff. If he does have a good sleeve grip right here, right? So let's say you're playing Hiva, what grip? You like this near side one? Yeah, you like this one? Whatever sleeve grip you want. Yeah, okay. Is there a particular one you're dealing with here?
No, I'm happy to take whatever you're going to give.
So, I like that. So, whenever I'm dealing with a sleeve grip here, I typically just anchor the hands down, right? I like to think as the sleeve grips as a tool for the person to keep my hands off the center line, right? So whether it's this one or he grabs this one here, he does this, or he does this eventually, whatever it may be, it's to get my hands off the center line. So whenever I get to a position like this, let's say it's here, I'm keeping the hands anchored here. Try to start using my sleeve grip here, go ahead. So typically I'm just continuing to do the same thing I'm already doing, but just keeping the elbows in tight here, right? And then once I get into a position where I do get the Deli Hiva hook out, right? For example, I'm working towards that, 1, 2. Once I clear the hook out, then I can go shotgun here, where I grab his grip here, and I push and pull here. So I wouldn't do that if he has the hook in and the foot on the hip here, right? So if he has a good sleeve grip here, if I start sitting here doing this here, he's gonna push and pull. Go ahead, push, and now I'm in trouble here, right? So whenever I'm dealing with someone who's got really good sleeve grips here, I think about getting his legs off of me where he can't push and pull, right? The grips are really strong when they're able to push and pull. So let's switch top to bottom here real quick. Just give you like a real general look here. If I keep my hips on his hips here and my 2 hands on the sleeves here, if my legs are not on his hips here, start posturing up, go ahead. It's hard for me to keep these hands under control. But if I can use my feet behind him here and push and pull here, try to break my grips down. Big difference, right? Huge difference. So I try to use that same idea when I'm on top passing the guard here, right? I'm not gonna sit there and try to start stripping the grips until I get his feet off my hips here where he can't push and pull. So pop the hook out, do this, do that, get the foot off your hip, and then strip the grips there. But in the time being though, I anchor the anchor the hands on his hips, and I keep the elbows in tight, T-Rex arms, right? And like the passing that we did today, I'm always using my forearm anyways to go inside the hip here, so it works in the style that we're using to pass the guard here, because I'm not looking to extend and grab on the upper body just yet until I clear the legs off my body. And then we start moving up, climbing up. But before we do that, then we strip, after we get the feet off position there. Does that make sense? Yeah, perfect, perfect. Any other questions, guys?
What's your favorite submission?
Favorite submission? I would say right now is the one that I worked on just now with you guys. I've been doing that one a lot. But outside of that one, I like a good collar choke from the back. Very simple, very simple. Classic 2-on-1 going across, reaching down, pulling the slack out, pulling that one across. Love that one. And I also like the monoplata a lot, which is something I've worked with you guys in the past too, right? Am I correct on that? Monoplata? We worked a lot of monoplata before.
I think we did a little bit. Josh did a seminar before you got here once.
Right, okay. So love the collar chokes like we just worked on today, right? Or attacking the shoulder lock, so you go on your back real quick. So if someone ever starts coming up on you, maybe with like an underhook here, come up to the underhook here, we can always step over like this here, right? Whenever we step over and shelf his arm over the leg here, we're in position to attack the shoulder. I think it's one of the strongest attacks, one of the hardest ones to get out of, I would say. So when I get to a position like this here, what I like to do is fall to the side. Once I fall to the side here, I try to trap his head into my two legs here like this. And now I try to keep the arm bent, reach for the elbow, find the elbow with my right hand, the one that reaches across. I adjust my bottom leg here. When I adjust the bottom leg here, it's to basically get my thigh underneath his elbow. So I pull, I adjust, I pinch down with my top leg as I lift up with the bottom one here, forcing him to tap here. It's like a thigh master workout where I'm just pinching my two knees together here, forcing that tap. So I really like that one a lot. Monoplata, you can get that from everywhere. But besides the collar choke, I would say that's probably my favorite submission. Monoplata, yeah, love that, love it. Any other questions, guys? Awesome. Question? Oh, question? You guys felt good with what we worked on today?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Let's do a group photo and get some rounds in.
Let's go.
Yeah, sound good?
Yeah.
And then get ready for some food, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go eat the brisket after that.
Let's get it. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go.